Welcome to Read Along Academy. In this teacher's guide to Chapter 14 of Charlotte's Web, we'll explore what happens in the chapter titled Dr. Dorian. If you haven't yet watched our Chapter 14 read along or the previous study guides, be sure to check them out on our channel. Let's begin with a quick summary. In this chapter, Fern is at home telling her mother about the latest stories from Charlotte. She shares a tale about a cousin spider catching a fish and another cousin who flies like a balloon. Mrs. Arable becomes worried that Fern spends too much time at the barn talking about animals, so she visits Dr. Dorian to ask if Fern's behavior is normal. Dr. Dorian listens and reassures her that it's fine for Fern to have a big imagination and spend time with animals. He even says he wouldn't be surprised if animals do talk, and adults are just too busy to notice. The chapter ends with Mrs. Arable feeling much better after hearing his kind and thoughtful words. Now, let's go over some vocabulary words from this chapter. Invent, to make something up that is not true. Fern's mother told her not to invent wild tales about Charlotte, fibs, small lies. Fern says Charlotte never fibs when she tells her stories. Balloonist, a person who flies using a balloon. Fern says Charlotte has a cousin who is a balloonist. Civilly, politely, or with good manners. Dr. Dorian says it's possible an animal spoke civilly to him and he didn't hear it. Incessant, non-stop or continuous. Dr. Dorian says people are incessant talkers and maybe that's why animals stay quiet. Let's check your memory with a few recall questions. Question 1. Why did Mrs. Arable become concerned about Fern? Answer. Because Fern spent too much time in the barn and talked a lot about animals. Question 2. Who does Mrs. Arable visit to get advice? Answer. Dr. Dorian. Question 3. What stories did Fern tell her mother? Answer. One about a spider catching a fish and another about a cousin who flies like a balloon. Question 4. What does Dr. Dorian think about animals talking? Answer. He says it's possible and that children pay better attention than adults. Question 5. How does the chapter end? Answer. Mrs. Arable feels relieved after talking to Dr. Dorian. Now here are some open-ended questions to discuss. Why does Fern's mother have trouble believing her stories? Answer. Because adults often don't accept things they can't explain. Her mother is focused on facts, while Fern sees the world with imagination. What does Dr. Dorian say about miracles? Answer. He says people focus on the words in the web, but forget that the web itself is a miracle. It shows how adults can miss the amazing things that children notice. How does this chapter show the difference between how children and adults see the world? Answer. Fern sees animals as friends and listens closely. Her mother worries. Dr. Dorian helps bridge the gap by respecting both imagination and reason. That's it for Chapter 14. In the next chapter, Charlotte will prepare even more surprises as the county fair draws near. Don't forget to subscribe to Read Along Academy for more chapter guides, printable workbooks, and storytime companions.